Ôi trời chết rồi anh Đắc ơi, chị Tiên xảy ra chuyện rồi. Tôi cảnh cáo cô bao nhiêu lần mà cô vẫn đi theo dõi là thế nào nhỉ? Cô muốn tôi Vinh để đánh cô đúng không?
Tôi chỉ đến đây để làm việc thôi.
Sao cô đi về lát? Tôi đầu cô không hiểu à? Ôi trời chết rồi anh Đắc ơi, chị Tiên xảy ra chuyện rồi. Anh ơi em, người ta đâu vào chị Tiên rồi, anh đến đây luôn đi. Kìa anh ơi, tôi xem người ta thế nào rồi.
Xem nào.
Ông anh nghỉ rồi mà mãi không đến. Làm thế nào bây giờ?
Về nhà lâu tới thế nhỉ?
Anh đến rồi. Anh đến rồi. Anh lên đi, sao
Anh
lâu
ơi,
thế?
ở cấp cứu đây anh ơi.
Anh ơi, chị chắc lấy chân rồi, bây giờ tôi đi đâu bây giờ? Ôi, đau chân quá. Anh quay lưng đây, nóng chị đi. Chân người em đau quá.
The first light of dawn filters through a dense mist, casting a soft golden sheen over the undulating hills where Lytutien's modest farm perches like a sanctuary amid the wild terrain. The uploaded photos reveal a serene courtyard, where the resonant crow of a rooster pierces the early silence, its silhouette stark against a bamboo fence interwoven with vibrant morning glory vines, while ducks paddle lazily near a pond dotted with pink lotus blossoms. Tien awakens on a woven mat inside her thatched hut, the comforting aroma of straw and moist earth filling her lungs as she stretches, her body stiff from a night on the hard floor. She steps into the cool morning air, the dew-kissed grass brushing her bare feet, and settles on a weathered stool beneath a sprawling mango tree, soaking in the farm's gentle awakening. Turning to the camera, her smile shines with warmth despite the shadows under her eyes. Good morning, dear friends. Wishing you a day brimming with peace and courage. The images capture her kneeling beside a frail mother dog, its ribs starkly outlined as it nurses a wriggling litter of pups, her fingers tenderly stroking its matted fur. She's been struggling so much, Tien whispers, her voice heavy with empathy. I'll head to the market for milk, bread, and maybe some fish for her strength. The farm pulses with quiet life. Chickens peck at the soil, scattering tiny pebbles. A farmer's distant song drifts from the rice paddies where a water buffalo wades, and a pair of butterflies dance around a trellis laden with ripening gourds. Tien adjusts her worn hat, the photos showing her moving to the garden, her hands deftly plucking glossy eggplants that shine like polished onyx against the rich loam. These will sustain us, she murmurs to herself, her mind wandering to her city job with Jack's company, a lifeline amid her rural struggles. The images shift to an office within a thatched building, where Jack, her boss, pores over a pile of contracts, signing off on 10 newly completed homes. His voice carries a steady, reassuring tone. Kyo prepared 10 welcome baskets with flowers and sweets for the new owners. Let's make them feel at home. Kyo nods, her pen flying across a notepad as Jack continues. Outstanding effort, team. Over 20 projects this month. Bonuses are on the way. But safety remains our cornerstone. He studies a map of construction sites pinned to the wall, then adds, set up an urgent meeting with our partners for the new branch expansion. Time is critical. Kyo pauses, her voice tinged with unease. Sir Hung's been off lately. Files are piling up, she's absent from work, and her phone's unreachable. Jack's brow creases, a shadow of concern crossing his face. That's not like her. Could it be family troubles? I'll give her a call. The photos cut to Hung, slouched on a threadbare couch in a dimly lit room, her voice edged with frustration as she vents to her boyfriend. Work's killing me and I'm out of funds. He leans back, smirking. You're not penniless. Why chase Jack with his fancy life when I've got cash flowing? He shifts closer, his tone coaxing. Quit. Move in with me. My crew's thriving, I can look after you. Hung twists a tarnished necklace, her expression torn. I'll think it over, she says hesitantly. Back at the office, Jack dials Hung, but the line stays silent. No answer, he mutters, stroking his chin. Could her past heartbreak be resurfacing? The atmosphere thickens as Jack tries again, his voice firm. Hung, those contracts need your attention. Come back to work. In her room, Hung groans. Jack's driving me crazy. Her boyfriend narrows his eyes, suspicion flaring. This has Tien's fingerprints all over it. Hung nods, her tone hardening. She's sabotaging me. I know it. Nearby, Lin, a colleague at a nearby table, overhears their sinister scheme and begins to follow them discreetly, her heart pounding with unease. Hung's boyfriend dials a thug named Tuan, snapping. Why hasn't Tien been handled? Hung cuts in, her anger boiling. Tuan, break her leg. Let my guy take over. I'll pay generously. He grins wickedly. Send me her location. We'll make it a show. The photos capture Hung's cold, calculating smirk as Lin snaps a covert photo. Meanwhile, Tien reaches a vibrant market, the images bursting with color. Stalls brimming with mangoes, lemongrass, and dried fish, vendors calling out in a lively chorus. She haggles for milk, bread, and a small fish, asking, "How much?" The vendor tallies, 60,000 VND. She nods, carefully stowing her purchases, her thoughts on her dogs, unaware of the danger creeping closer as a figure lurks among the crowd. Tien walks along a rugged, dusty trail, the uploaded photos showing her basket swaying with each step as she nears a desolate crossroads, the thatched huts vanishing into a swirling fog that blankets the landscape. A sudden icy shiver runs down her spine. She feels an ominous presence, her pace quickening as her instincts scream a warning, the basket's weight tugging at her arm. The images reveal a gang on roaring motorbikes charging toward her, led by Hung's boyfriend and Tuan, their faces set with cruel determination, the dust rising like a dark cloud behind them, the engines a thunderous threat. He shouts to Tuan over the cacophony, "Ram her! Shatter that leg as Hung commanded, leave no doubt." Tien's heart pounds wildly. She fumbles for her phone with shaking, clammy hands, her fingers fumbling as she dials Jack, her breath ragged. "Jack, I'm in danger, please save me," she pleads, her voice trembling with terror. But it goes to voicemail, the silence a crushing blow as she's left alone against the approaching menace. The photos capture the devastating moment a bike slams into her with brutal force, sending her sprawling into the dirt, blood streaming from a gash on her temple as she slips into unconsciousness, her basket bursting apart, milk, bread, and fish scattering across the ground, the vibrant colors a stark contrast to the grim scene. A gut-wrenching scream erupts from Lin, who had been trailing the gang with growing dread, the photos freezing her horrified expression, her phone shaking in her grasp as she records the attack. She dials Jack, her voice cracking with frantic urgency. Jack, Tien's been hit by a bike. Come now, she's bleeding heavily, it's bad. Still no response, the line dead as her panic surges. Lynn races to Tien, collapsing to her knees in the dust, tears streaming down her face as she presses her sleeve to the wound, her hands trembling and stained with blood, the fabric quickly soaking through. A stranger, a man with compassionate eyes, a faded scarf, and a worn satchel, emerges from the shadowy trees, his face lined with concern and a flicker of resolve. Is she breathing? Let me help, he says, pulling a water bottle, a clean rag, and a small vial of antiseptic from his bag. Together they work to revive her, the images showing his steady hands cradling her head as Lynn sobs. Tien, please hold on. Don't give up, we're here. Tien stirs, a faint, pained whimper escaping her lips, agony coursing through her leg and head, her vision blurred with dizziness and fleeting images of the crash. It hurts so much, my leg, where am I? She murmurs, her voice fading into a fragile thread. Just then, Jack's car screeches to a halt, tires kicking up dust, the photos capturing his frantic leap from the driver's seat, his face ashen with terror, eyes blazing with guilt and determination. Tien, he shouts, rushing to her side, joining Lynn and the stranger to lift her gently, his hands shaking as he wipes blood and dirt from her cheek. Lynn, stay with her. Leave the basket. Let's get to the hospital, she needs help now, he commands, his voice thick with urgency, guilt, and a fierce vow to make amends. Elsewhere, the photos shift to Hung and her boyfriend at a raucous roadside eatery, the air thick with the scent of sizzling skewers, rice wine, and cigarette smoke, their table littered with empty bowls, spilled sauces, and crumpled napkins. They clink glasses, laughing boisterously as he boasts, Tien's down for the count, we nailed it, just like you planned. He leans in, a greedy smirk on his face. Where's my reward, huh? You owe me big. Hung smirks, sipping her drink with a chilling nonchalance. She'll pull through. Nothing permanent, just a warning shot. They dig into their meal, swapping crude jokes and toasting their success. Oblivious to the storm they've unleashed, their arrogance blinding them to the consequences. Tuan, staggering from too much drink, his shirt damp with sweat and stains, slurs, I'm done here, see you, and lurches away, nearly toppling a table while Hung turns to her boyfriend. Let's hit the clubs tonight, celebrate our triumph in style. The images show them leaving, their laughter ringing into the dusk, unaware that Lynn's photos, the stranger's aid, and Jack's intervention are weaving a net of justice around them. Back at the crossroads, the stranger helps Jack secure Tien in the car, the photos lingering on her blood-streaked face, the stranger's steady gaze, the shattered remnants of her basket, and the fading echoes of the attackers' bikes as they speed toward the hospital, hope hanging by a fragile thread. The engines roar, a lifeline piercing the silence, the stranger offering a quiet word of encouragement to Jack. In a sterile hospital room illuminated by the harsh glow of overhead lights, the uploaded photos show Tien reclining on a narrow bed, her leg encased in a bulky bandage, a faint bruise discoloring her cheek, and 4-line taped to her arm, and a heart monitor emitting a steady, fragile beep that fills the space. The doctor approaches with a measured nod. It's a severe sprain and superficial cuts. She lost a fair amount of blood, but with rest, care, and monitoring she'll recover. Keep her still and hydrated. Lynn sits beside her, her hand clasped tightly around Tien's, recounting the harrowing event with a voice that wavers but holds firm despite the tears glistening on her face. I overheard Hung and her boyfriend plotting this in that dingy room. I captured photos of them near the bike, their faces half visible in the gloom, she says, passing her phone to Jack, her fingers quivering with the burden of truth. The images reveal shadowy figures, their features partially discernible under the faint light, the bike's license plate faintly legible, offering damning evidence of Hung's involvement. Jack's face contorts, a tempest of rage, disbelief, and self-reproach swirling within, his hands balling into fists until the skin stretches taut. "My own secretary," he growls, his voice a low rumble of fury and betrayal. "I'm calling the police, this ends now." He dials, his tone frigid and resolute. "We have concrete evidence of a deliberate assault. Dispatch officers immediately, this cannot wait." Tien, awake but disoriented, her mind clouded by painkillers and trauma, recalls Hung's earlier veiled threats in the office, sneers, whispered curses, and a chilling promise of payback, her heart sinking as the memory merges with her current pain. The scene transitions to Jack's office, the photos capturing Hung's haughty defiance as he confronts her, slamming the photos onto the desk with a thunderous smack that reverberates through the room, the papers fluttering briefly. "Explain this, Hung," he demands, his voice a sharpened edge, his eyes piercing hers with a blend of disgust and sorrow. She stammers, her composure cracking. "I didn't do it. It's a fabrication, that farm girl set me up." Jack interrupts, his resolve unyielding. "The police are en route. You're fired. We don't shelter criminals who attack innocents. Especially not someone under my care." Hung's eyes blaze with rage, her voice escalating to a shrill accusation. "This is because you spurned me. You're punishing me for my feelings, for daring to want more." Jack shakes his head, his tone absolute. "This is about your crime, not your delusions. Get out now, or I'll escort you out and let the law take over." The images depict her storming out, her arrogance disintegrating as the door slams with a force that shudders the walls, a potted plant toppling in her wake, leaving Jack to sink into his chair, the weight of betrayal crushing him, his thoughts consumed by the need to protect Tien and the regret of overlooking Hung's malice. Back at the farm, the photos portray Tien resting in her humble hut, her leg elevated on a cushion padded with dried leaves and a soft blanket, the thatched roof casting intricate patterns of light across her pale, weary face as the late afternoon sun filters through, the air tinged with the scent of approaching rain. Jack sits beside her, worry etching deep furrows into his forehead, his hand resting gently on hers as he calls fuck. "Take Lynn home, she's drained. Then come guard Tien. I need you here round the clock to ensure her safety." Turning to Tien, he whispers, his voice thick with emotion and a trace of tears. "I'm not leaving your side, not for a moment. You're safe now. I'll protect you with my life, my every resource. I let this happen once, but I'll never fail you again." Tien offers a fragile smile, her voice quivering with gratitude, pain, and a glimmer of hope. "Thank you, Jack. I thought I'd lose my home, my animals, my future. He squeezes her hand, his eyes shimmering with unshed tears. No one will harm you again. I'll find that stranger who helped and thank him properly. His kindness saved you. The images shift to the garden, where bamboo trellises rise majestically against the golden sunset, their graceful arcs a symbol of endurance and rebirth, the air alive with the fragrance of wildflowers and the soft buzz of evening insects. Later, Fuck arrives, a silent sentinel with a lantern glowing softly, and Jack steps outside, the photos showing him staring at the starlit sky, his breath misting in the cool night air as he vows to restore trust, shield Tien from lingering threats, and honor the stranger's bravery. Inside, Tien slips into sleep, her dreams woven with visions of safety and the faint, joyful bark of her recovering dog, the farm's soothing sounds, crickets singing, leaves whispering, and a gentle breeze rustling the thatch, a lullaby to her healing soul, her heart gradually embracing a tentative peace as the ordeal fades into memory. When Jack learns that Tien's accident was orchestrated by his secretary Hung, his reaction is a maelstrom of shock, incandescent rage, and unyielding resolve. Initially, he's staggered by the betrayal, Zhang's photos and testimony shattering his faith in Hung, a trusted colleague, his mind reeling with the image of Tien's bloodied form and the sting of his own oversight. His anger erupts like a volcano, propelling him to confront Hung with irrefutable proof, his voice a blend of grief and steel as he demands answers, his hands trembling with the urge to act. Without a second's pause, he terminates her employment, refusing to shield her crimes, and alerts the police with fierce determination, ensuring justice is swiftly pursued. Beyond vengeance, his concern for Tien evolves into a profound duty. He rushes to her side, his guilt over missing Hung's treachery fueling a steadfast commitment to her recovery, staying by her through the pain, vowing to guard her future with every fiber of his being, and planning to seek out the stranger to express his gratitude and offer support.
Are 10 years apart in age, but she had also been with her husband for about 50 years. She talked of how they met and what their life had been like. And I could tell by her stories and the warmth of her tone of voice that she, too, had a happy marriage. Then it was my turn, and all I could do was cry as I told the story of my own husband's battle with cancer and chronic pain. As unquote, I'm used to asking people what they have learned from their experiences, so it was natural for me to ask her for advice on what happened her deal with the crushing grief. Obviously, she has been doing something right to be so full of vitality and joy after such a short time. She described it, her travels around the world with sparkling eyes and her plans for the next year with a joyful smile. What a contrast to